worked with Leslie at Bethel College, and one of the fond memories I have is when Leslie shared at chapel her testimony of how God's helped her and been with her. And she had us in tears, but she also had lots of time of laughter. And so many of us said how much we enjoyed and we could feel God's close presence. I'm praying for all of you, and I'm just so glad that Leslie was part of my life. Thank you.
I've known Leslie since she was a youngster, young teenager growing up here in the church. I was greatly impressed by her active and responsible role she played in Christian education for her friends and for the adults too. She was a wholesome member of this church, and I've watched her grow up into her professional life and have been amazed. And we've been a family friend of hers also. Shared some really happy times together with her, some fun times with her and Daryl and the kids, and we'll greatly miss her.
Leslie's just a super person. I've known her through the church, and she and her mom and her whole family have just been terrific. They're so dedicated, so courageous. I mean, through Jack's illness and everything, they always wanted to share. And, you know, she's just like all the rest of them, just wonderful. So I'm happy to participate today, and I wish them all the blessings.
I have fond memories of our son Tom and Leslie going to Sunday school together and through communicants class together. They went to different schools. I think Leslie was at Memorial and Tom was at Central, but they were always good friends. And the family's been friends since we've lived here. We moved here in 1965, and shortly after that, Leslie and Tommy arrived a couple of years after that, so we've been blessed with their friendship.
A few years ago, we brought a meal to Leslie and Daryl and the children just before Super Bowl Sunday. So we included some snacks for the children and Daryl. And then after that, I had pillows. I made pillows with Leslie's picture with each of her children, a pillow for each of the children. And I hope the children find them comforting now.
Just want to tell everyone how special Leslie is. And because of her, I'm in children's ministry myself here today, right here at the church where we met when we were all newly married before we had our children, and watching them grow. And I'm going to miss you a lot. Leslie, love you. Bye.
Hi, I just wanted to say that the Greising family and have been such blessings to us. We were involved in Montessori school together, and I just love them, and I'm blessed that Leslie's been able to do this, and to leave us a legacy of loving and trusting God regardless. And so that's all. Our prayers will be with the family, and I told Leslie we're making an appointment up in heaven where there's no time, and we'll be able to really share our lives. Thank you for this time.
I lived across the street from Leslie in their old neighborhood in Sherwood. When Leslie was first diagnosed with cancer, people were bringing meals into her. My kids were all grown and out of the house. My husband was spending a horrendous business year in spending lots of time in Toronto, Canada. Leslie could look out her kitchen window and see that there was only one car in my garage, so she would bring down meals to me that people were giving her because she had breast cancer.
Leslie, I know I blubbered the other day in a letter to you about all of our good memories and everything. And Daryl just mentioned maybe the church hasn't been this full in quite a while, and that's just what you were able to do, to bring people together and to bring joy and laughter and adventure and bargains and fun into their life. So we will always love you, hold a special place in our heart. And I know we'll be spending eternity together, so that'll be a lot of fun. We love you, Daryl, Luke, and Aaron, and always will.
I first met Leslie, I don't know, in the early 80s. I'm an HR guy by background, like she is, and I interviewed her. She was fresh out of school and so forth. I didn't end up hiring her, but I very carefully got back to her and told her why, and told her keep doing what she's doing. She presented herself wonderfully, including a strong Christian faith person. And I said, just keep doing what you're doing and you're going to land in the right spot. Then I started my own business 10 years after that and tried for 20 years to figure out where I could use her in my own business. And it turned out I was all by myself, so I never did hire anybody else. But she's a one, and that's really the only times we might run into each other at the mall. But other than that, that's it. It's not a long normal anyhow. But I'm very thankful for it, and this is a wonderful idea. Never been to anything like this before. This is great. Thank you.
And I first met Leslie at Woolahan Lumber and at Iona in 1988 when we did the mission for the it was called the Benedictine Abbey at Iona, and we worked on. Whoop, that's okay. So that's what I remember.
How I know Leslie is she called the Purdue Elkhart County Extension Office several years ago about wanting to get her pressure canner checked. Little did I know, but I offered for my husband Mike to go and pick up the pressure canner because we lived close, and then I'll let him tell you the story.
We took it from there. The pressure canner was not working, but I seen to it that we took an extra one along, and so she could continue pressure canning her green beans at that time. Over the last couple of years, we've helped her buy produce at the produce market down at Wakarusa on County Road 9. And the last time she was there that I was there, they were having some strawberries, and she didn't want to pay quite what they were bringing. And so when I got done, I give Luke 2 quarts of strawberries so he'd have strawberries for a strawberry pie. But she also bought some other things that day, and we're going to miss her.
Great lady, very caring.
Leslie has been such a great role model for me as a mom. Seeing her cheer her kids, Luke and Aaron, to be in the Bristol Opera, in their school plays, and just being there for them. She opened her heart to take my son to her house after school, and from there we started a friendship. And I'm so glad, because as she said in her memory, to have prayer in my life, and that's what I have done, and I would like to continue for that. So thank you so very much. God bless you.
And we absolutely adore and love the Greisings. I've never met anybody in my life more beautiful than Leslie and her family. They've touched my heart in so many ways. And my most fondest memory was always, and will always be, the day her and her little daughter Erin brought us the most beautiful, welcoming dinner to our home in their little red wagon. It was just, it touched my heart, and from that time on, it was Leslie. It was like, she couldn't get rid of me, and I couldn't get rid of her. So, very beautiful people, and I'll always be there for them because I love them very, very dearly. Both of us.
Both of us.
Yeah.
You know, Leslie is the most amazing person we have ever met.
Our neighbors.
She's our neighbor, and she's a friend, and she has inspired me, and she's the kind of person that sets a good model for what a Christian should be. And I've learned a lot from her. Both of us have.
Well, we had wonderful neighbors on Cottonwood Drive, and when Daryl and Leslie moved in, along with their 2 greyhounds, and we had happy times. Them coming to our basement because they didn't have a basement every time a storm came by, and also Daryl out there mowing the lawn and the greyhounds laying in the sun. In fact, sometimes they were large and they looked like 2 deer. Leslie also changed our son's life because she got him into landscape architecture, and that is what he's doing, and we have her to thank for that. So she changed the life of our son, and he is a grown man with 2 children.
We're neighbors to Leslie and Daryl and Aaron and Luke, and we have so many wonderful memories the past 5 years that we knew them. We love them, each one, and they're wonderful people. people. They're wonderful neighbors, and I just want to say goodbye, Leslie, and go with God. Thank you.
I know Leslie only for a short period of time now, but my mom and George have grown really close to their family. I'll never forget the first time I met Leslie. I thought instantly they were going to be best friends. They went to the produce auction and got maybe 30 pumpkins and 10 bushels of apples, and I just thought, okay, my mom finally met someone as crazy as her, and they'd be best friends forever. So just want to say goodbye, Leslie, and we love your family. We'll always be there for them.
We've just been amazed by Leslie's journey, and just the other little things that we can do to help in any way, just helping here and there. And I know that Leslie would do it in a heartbeat for any of us if we needed it at any time, any place, and any way. And that's why we did it for you. So, love you.
There aren't words to say just how amazing it's been to watch a person live a life in the here and in the now, but yet also into the future of God's love, and to do it with such grace as Leslie has. She's been a true inspiration to my faith, and I thank her for the honor and privilege of being with her while she's gone through these last years of her journey.
I'm Daryl and Leslie's pastor of the family. Every once in a while you meet somebody who's really a light, such a wonderful example of what it means to be a Christian. Leslie's one of those people. She's so willing to do anything for anybody, in the church or outside of the church, and I think today, as we celebrate her life, the turnout that we've had, the number of people here of all walks of life, all different ages, are just a wonderful example of what I'm talking about. Truly, Leslie Greising is a blessing, and we'll miss her.
Leslie's dad and I had always told Leslie that it was more important for her to be beautiful on the inside than on the outside. And from talking to the people here today, she's accomplished that. And a lady just told me that she would have been afraid to die if it wouldn't have been for Leslie, and now she's looking forward to going to heaven. Leslie is sitting in her dad's chair. That her dad passed away 1.5 years ago. He broke his neck and had Parkinson's, and he couldn't, he had a lot of pain, and we got that chair for him. And after he passed 1.5 years ago, neighbor down the street had cancer, and he was in a lot of pain, and they came and took that chair down to their home and used that till he passed, and it came back to our house. And another neighbor was ill, and they came down and got the chair, and he passed. And then when we decided that this is what Leslie wanted to do, she's in her dad's chair. We searched. We went to the Presbyterian Church at Ball State where we met and came up here, and we thought this was a thinking man's church where you decided yourself if it was right or wrong. That's what God wanted you to do to be a good person, and so we brought our children up here.